the thing we know for sure is prosecutors are able to convince, it sounds like 2 judges, if we have 2 warrants, that there's probable cause, A, that a federal crime was committed, and B, that they will find evidence of that crime in the phones and the locations to be searched.
Federal agents, they intercepted Swalwell on Saturday night at the San Francisco International Airport. And while they intercepted him, they didn't arrest him, but they seized his electronic devices at the airport there. Then come Sunday morning, those federal agents also went to his home in Washington, D.C., where this source tells me they conducted a raid there and seized more electronic devices. And we're told both actions, so both what happened at the airport and Swalwell's Washington, D.C. home, that's all part of an ongoing investigation into the sexual assault allegations involving Representative Swalwell.
They raided Eric Swalwell's home, seized his phone, email, laptop, and everything while he was at the airport, because this investigation is moving forward in regards to whatever he was involved with in his private life. It's now actually essentially blown up on him. Now, I like to believe that the American people will take the accountability whenever they can get it. And so it seems that Eric Swalwell is about to face a good amount of accountability. I wish whatever is happening to Eric Swalwell would happen to more people in Congress or in the government, if you catch my drift. But we'll take it whatever way that we can. And again, he's got a nasty history. Okay. And if he was up to that stuff, and more of it is obviously going to come public, I can't imagine other people in Congress who have been guilty of the same thing and are still walking free on our streets. But I guess the better question is, why would the FBI essentially be searching his home? What are they exactly looking for? Here's one perspective from CNN, their own legal analyst. Here's what he said.
What is your understanding of why the FBI would be brought in on a sex assault investigation like this? As Andy noted, typically the FBI doesn't.
Yeah, I had the same reaction. So sexual assault on its own is always going to be a state crime, but on its own, it's not a federal crime. You need some federal hook. And the fact that a person, or the allegation that a person may have committed multiple sexual assaults in multiple states, that still is not going to give you federal jurisdiction. That's just going to mean you might have multiple state level charges. And so you have to ask, what could have been the federal jurisdictional hook here? It could be, we don't know, but if some of this conduct happened on federal property or in a federal building, that would then give you federal jurisdiction.
I don't know if you guys could recall this, but remember there was cocaine found in the White House? Remember, there was this whole story of 2 men doing you-know-what in the halls of Congress on federal property? Whatever came of that? Did anybody ever get arrested or prosecuted? No. So it'll be interesting to see if the same thing happens with Eric Swalwell, how far this will go. Again, we'll take accountability wherever we can get it. But let's just call it what it is. I mean, a lot of crimes are committed in Congress. So what are they really going to find on those electronics from Eric Swalwell? I bet maybe some members of Congress might be sweating, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're good at covering their tracks. But it seems to me Eric Swalwell was not good at covering his tracks, and that's why it blew up in his face.
But as Andy said, the thing we know for sure is prosecutors are able to convince, it sounds like 2 judges, if we have 2 warrants, that there's probable cause, A, that a federal crime was committed, and B, that they will find evidence of that crime in the phones and the locations to be searched. And I'll tell you, having gone through that process of bringing that paperwork to judges, they don't rubber stamp that. They look very carefully, especially in a high-profile case like this. Now, probable cause is a lower standard than proof beyond a reasonable doubt, but it's something, and it's substantial. So this is a big development.
Show.